The Lansu Garden in Portland, Oregon, adheres to the Chinese garden typology and was designed as an authentic replica of the Suzhou Scholar Gardens in the 16th century Ming Dynasty. The gardens were designed primarily in order to provide a place of refuge within the confines of urban life, to bring nature in miniature form into the city. This was based on Taoist principles that prescribe the importance of man's interconnectedness with nature. The basic integration of the built environment with the natural environment is clear through the use and placement of natural elements throughout the garden. These natural elements are what tie the pavilions to each other, ensuring your constant connection to both as you move through the garden. The monolithic water-carved rocks are examples of one type of nature that exists within the garden. These rocks are intended to appear as mountains, which are sacred to the Chinese. The lake at the center of the garden is another important natural element, acting as a unifying component. Both the rocks and the lake are scaled-down versions of natural elements intended to be viewed as reminders of nature as it exists outside the city. The pavilions within the garden are generally column and beam structures with broad verandas and screen infilling walls with a multiplicity of openings. The architecture, therefore, blends into the more natural parts of the garden. A feeling of lightness is achieved through the pavilion roofs, which appear to be ethereally hovering over the ground. The eaves on the pavilion roofs are often turned upwards, a practice that stems from the belief that this form would ward off evil spirits. The built paths and bridges within the garden are meandering and dynamic, allowing one to wander and uncover a variety of different, ever-changing views. The tradition of oblique entries and routes also relates to the feng shui criterion for containing the flow of negative energy. These zigzag paths serve as a contrast to the rigid and gridded structure and fabric of the urban city. Even when you are within enclosed structures, you are visually reminded of what exists outside.